I mean, I can understand people being interested in it. When we were at school, one of our drummers, he was about the third, fourth, or maybe fifth or something, I can't remember, drummers in the band. He was probably about 13 or maybe even 12 or something when he joined the band. And he was a couple of years younger than us. And he got, after a few years, he started getting into this, fucking listening to Screwdriver and stuff. Which was, I blame myself, it was like my fucking fault, like, in that. But anyway, you know, it's records. Yeah, it's good, kind of, you know, I was like listening to loads of oi music and that. And there's something back in the back, it's got a fucking great drum intro. It'd be really good if like we did a cover version of it. So I'd like kind of given this to Gov, our drummer, and that, and he's sort of got into it and that. And then fucking next thing we know, Screwdriver's next record comes out, White Power.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, no. And he was younger than us, and he was hanging out with these skinhead guys who, they weren't actually Nazis either. But then this fucking White Power record comes out. I start listening to, oh yeah, this is really good. And that, as Gov started getting into that, and we would have all these arguments. You know, he's like fucking, I don't know, 15, 16, and we're like, oh, this is shite. And we were hoping that he would grow out of it, and he never grew out of it, sadly. And he got booted out of the band because of it, and it ended up that we were actually at one point kind of fighting on opposing sides at some thing in London where it was like anti-fascist action were on one side and all these fucking Nazis going to a Screwdriver gig were on the other. So there's our fucking ex-drummer, you know, and we were on one side and he's with these skinhead guys who had also come to our gigs before they were into that stuff. And I mean, he was never the sharpest tool in the box, but you know, he seemed a nice enough guy, and his, you know, his whole fucking life was fucked up by that. You know, I mean, he lost his job because he was working in the Scottish office. People found out where he worked, and there's like, no one wants fucking Nazis having sort of access to you know, possible government records. There was a big campaign to get him to lose his job. Lost his job. I think he may have taken the odd kicking because of that. I mean, I haven't seen him for fucking years. You know, the last I heard, he looked in a bad way. But yeah, the thing with Gov, it was really sad. I mean, I noticed in the Capital Punishment forum there was people kind of saying, you know, how's this band kind of singing about battering Nazis while having a Nazi in the band? And and someone had said, you know, well, they probably put up with it because they were sort of enjoying touring and making money and stuff. And obviously that's a fucking great story. You got a militant anti-fascist band singing about battering Nazis, but actually they've got a Nazi in the band, but they just keep quiet about it because they're making loads of money on tour and stuff. Well, obviously that wasn't the case. You know, the songs about kind of battering Nazis and that came about actually after what I was talking about before, where we find ourselves on kind of different sides during physical confrontation with Nazis. And it was after that that we started writing these songs like Nazi Scum and Bash the Fash and Let the Boots Do the Talking. We were never touring. I think we did our first tours in what was it, the late 80s. We never toured with him. We played the odd gig in different places, but the idea that we were making money is frankly laughable to anyone who really knows anything about the DIY punk scene.